Hi, this is Jaye Ancruem with this week's episode of Mental Health Minute, and let's take a minute or so to talk about mental health. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Mental Health Minute with Jay. And we are so excited on today because we have a very special guest, someone that I've known for a number of years, someone that has come to be like family to me. She is like my very own daughter. I couldn't love her anymore unless even if I gave birth to her. She is a wonderful person. And I'm going to have her introduce herself. She's going to tell everybody her name, what she does, and what she also does in the church.
Hi, I'm Alicia Vaughn. I go by Vaughn. That's my artist name. I am a music artist, but first, I am a child of God.
All right. All right. That is a great introduction. We can end on that. But we have so much to talk about because I've known you over the years and I've seen you grow and develop into just such a wonderful person. And we're going to talk a little bit about growth, and we're going to talk a little bit about change. Two things that sometimes people don't often talk about enough, but something that affects us all. You know, we all need to go through periods of growth and change, even at any age. At my age, which I'm not going to mention the number, but even
25. 25.
We all have to go through those changes, right? We all have to have those teachable lessons and teachable moments. But like we talked about, people have a tendency to expect others to go from zero to wholeness overnight, and that is so unrealistic. So today we're going to be talking about progression and also celebrating those small moments and those small steps of growth and development. So tell us a little bit, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your past and about your approaches to problem solving, and also with dealing with challenging situations, either the situations themselves or with other people.
I think I would like to start with when it came to homosexuality. I battled with that at a very young age. I didn't know that I was battling with it. I was a child. Even my mother said that she saw a devil spirit on me as a child. And I think that I was never shamed by her, thank God, because I think that would have made me rebel even more into that lifestyle. But she accepted me and she always spoke life into me. But I battled with homosexuality for about 18 years, I think. And I never asked God to deliver me from it. I never said, God, please take the gay away. Please, God, take the gay away. I never did that. I don't know who prayed for me, but prayers definitely happened for the change. And I know that the real change did not occur until I got out of a lifestyle of gang activity. And that's weird how they connect gang activity and homosexuality, but it has a connection because I was trying to put on a front, and I felt like being in that lifestyle meant that I could keep that wall up that I didn't want people to see. I can be somebody else. I can join this and become tough. You know, I want to be tough. But I never asked God to deliver me from it, and he started slowly taking away some of the desires. It wasn't a overnight thing. Now, some things can be overnight, but this was not overnight. And I didn't even know what was happening. I just knew that the attraction towards women was not the same. Things that were portrayed on social media didn't appeal to me anymore. So I learned patience in that. And that's really where I learned that things don't happen overnight.
Okay. And you said that you didn't feel any pressure from certain people, and in particular, you named your mom. What difference do you think that made?
I think because she wasn't so hard. She said that her great grandmother would always say well, if say for example, my grandmother came and complained about my mother as a child. Oh, she's so bad. She wants to do this and this. My great great grandmother would say to my grandmother, let her do what she wants to do. Because when you push her to do something else, that's going to make her want to be in that sin even more. So And there's even, I don't know the scripture by heart, but lead up a child in the way that they should go. And when they're older, they won't depart. They'll come back. They'll be good. So that's, I think, her being accepting of me. It really, like, it was awkward. It was like I was expecting, I'm getting kicked out, I'm getting beat. Like, I was expecting that, but it didn't happen. So.
All right. I love that. I love that, because I do think that a lot of times, like, what we have a tendency to think is that we need to control people in order to get them to do what we think that they should do. And you know what? It's all about relationships, and we need to even, I've seen, sometimes in the school system, and this is not to say anything negative about anyone, because there are definitely some wonderful, absolutely wonderful people working in the school system, some people who are loving, some people who are caring, some people who are just contributing to making, great contributions to our society. But there are also some that are there that sometimes get things wrong. And what they do is, in order to get children to cooperate, what they do is they try to control them. But it's really about building relationships. Even like you said, the scripture, train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they get older, they will not depart. The scriptures also say, with love and kindness have I loved me, not with criticism, not with
Right.
blame, not with beating people down, not
Being
with nagging
obsessive.
people to death. Yes, but being respectful and loving, and that can make a difference. And I'm so glad that you shared that and brought that out. Relationships are really important. So how do you think that you deal with problems now?
Um, that's so great. That's a great question, because learning patience from that part of my life taught me patience in other aspects of my life. But I'm also learning to finish what I start, if that makes sense. To stop starting something and then, oh, now I want to do this, so I'm going to run and do this. Have patience in it, enjoy the process. So even with, like, this clothing line I'm trying to start, it's taking longer than, it's actually taking as long as it should. But if I was impatient, I would say, no, I'm done. I give up. I'm good. This is too much. I don't want to do it anymore. But God is really working on me with patience. I think that is really, really, patience is like the key word for me right now.
All right. I love that. Yeah, because I trust me, and that's not an age thing. That's something that you learn with experience, because there are a lot of us that have to deal with that and have to learn that over time. And sometimes, even when you're older, sometimes you can be older and not understand kind of those basic things, because sometimes you can miss it. So I love that. I love that you shared that. Patience is something that, and being realistic about what's to come,
Yeah.
as far as starting your business is concerned. And that's really important. So thanks for sharing that. Do you also think that, in your opinion, just from what you've explained, is there a correlation between poor decision making and poor mental health? And I understand that you're not a mental health professional, but I'm just asking you from your opinion based on your personal experience.
Life experience.
That's it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm one of those people who was like that person. Like, I feel like when you don't love yourself, or it's not here, it doesn't click here, you do things that you should not do. Like crazy things. And you end up being convicted after, because it's like, God, that it wasn't right. God is telling you it's not. But because you lack the love, for example, with a person, a female, let's talk about a female. If a female does not love herself, in this world today, she'll give herself to a lot of people. She'll just give herself away because she thinks that if I do that, they will love me. And that's the bad decision, giving yourself away, creating soul ties. So that's one situation I had to learn, like, I don't have to give myself away just for someone to love me. I have to learn how to love me first. And then I won't tolerate men coming at me, oh, let's do this, let's do that. But when I don't love myself, it's like, okay, I'm like gullible. I'm like just clueless. So I definitely think that it makes a difference.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes. And I've always told you over the years, and this is not like something I just started, that you have a certain amount of wisdom, and once you get to the point where you combine that wisdom with, good choices,
Yes.
that things are going to start to improve in your life. And things have absolutely improved in your life. And I'm very proud of you. And I'm very proud of the progress that you've made. And tell us about your recent accomplishments before we close out.
So, a little bit of a backstory. I went to school longer than it was supposed to take. This is why I said finish what you start on time. Let me make sure I put that in there on time. Because I was in barbering school, it was supposed to take 7 months, but it ended up taking like a year and some change because I kept leaving. There was a lot going on in jobs, and I felt like I didn't learn everything that I needed to learn while being there. So what the test was supposed to happen already. I prolonged it because I was scared. I felt like I couldn't pass, so I wouldn't pass. But recently, this what was it, Wednesday? I went back to the test. It was 110 questions, and I was very nervous, but I started studying before I went, and I remembered the things that I had studied months ago. And I didn't know if I was going to pass. I was taking a test. I was anxious. By the middle of the test, I knew. I said, yeah, I failed. I got to go. But I kept pushing through. It was like I said, just finish strong, finish strong, finish strong. And as soon as I was done with the test, I seen in the corner, it said pass. I almost passed out. So I said, no, I got to make sure. I got to hear her say it because there was a lady, a receptionist in the front. I said, I got to hear her tell me that I passed. I came out and she was like, congratulations. And it just was, it built a confidence in me. Like, you can do anything. You just have to apply yourself. It's not that you're dumb or you didn't finish when everybody else did. Apply yourself and just see it through. So it just built something in me. And now I have the practical coming up. So you have the theory and the practical. The theory is the handwritten test and the practical is the hands-on test where I actually cut hair. So after I pass that, I will be a licensed barber.
We are celebrating now because it's going to happen.
Amen.
That is awesome. So we want to thank you for being with us on today. We definitely enjoyed you and we learned a lot from you. And we're looking forward to having you on the show sometime again and hearing more about your next step.
Yeah, this is really fun. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining us on this week's episode of Mental Health Minute with Jay. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, thank you for joining us this week for this week's Mental Health Minute. We hope that you walk away feeling educated, empowered, and supported. And we hope that you join us next time for Mental Health Minute. Thank you.